Welcome back and a very good evening. So in today's class we'll be talking about the quantum model of the atom. Now there is a series which I am creating for quantum mechanics and the quantum model of the atom, class 11, chapter structure of the atom chemistry, chapter number 2. Okay, so if you want to learn quantum mechanics and allow it to be on your fingertips, why not watch these videos? Okay, so let's begin with the introductory video of quantum model of the atom. You will find the upcoming videos as well in a playlist regarding quantum model of the atom, which I will be naming as quantum mechanics on your fingertips. Okay, let's begin. Now, quantum model of the atom actually was the fourth successful model of the atom and was the model of the atom which we actually use now. So this is actually the successful model of the atom now. Now this model of the atom came after the Bohr model was rejected. Okay. Now why was the Bohr model rejected? The Bohr model was rejected because it had certain limitations. The limitations were, number one, it could not explain the splitting of spectral lines. All atoms have a spectrum and the splitting of the spectral lines were not explained in magnetic field, M field and in the electric field. The splitting of spectral lines in magnetic field is called Zeeman effect and the splitting of spectral line in electric field is called Stark effect. This could not be explained, number one. Second, this Bohr model could not explain the reason for bonding. Bonding could not be explained in atoms. Okay, why they form bonds. There are more also, but I'll just take a one most important one as well. The third one was it contradicted the uncertainty principle. Uncertainty principle given by Heisenberg, which stated that it is impossible to exactly find the velocity or momentum and the position of an electron. But if Bohr model told that electron revolve in an orbit which is a fixed path, which actually allowed us to find the position and velocity at the same time, which contradicted the uncertainty principle and hence it could not be incorporated. And lastly, it did not follow the dual nature of matter. What did de Broglie say? De Broglie said that matter has wave and particle nature just like light. This Bohr model ignored the wave nature. Okay, so that's why the de Broglie hypothesis was not followed by the Bohr model and hence it was outdated. This led to the delivery of the quantum model of the atom by two scientists, okay, Erwin Schrödinger and Werner Heisenberg. So there were two major important developments which led to the quantum mechanical model developments. Okay, the first was your de Broglie's matter. Okay, de Broglie's dual nature. De Broglie's dual nature. Now there will be a separate video regarding de Broglie's dual nature as well, and on the next one also, which was Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, I just briefed you with these two topics. So I'll give separate videos on understanding the de Broglie's relationship and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And lastly, the third one was the Schrödinger wave equation. Now it is really very complicated to solve the Schrödinger wave equation, so that is not in the syllabus to solve the Schrödinger wave equation, so we'll not be taking it in detail. Okay, so these three were the developments which led to the formulation of quantum model of the atom. Now what does the quantum model of the atom actually justify? Now this says that the electrons which are there, the nucleus has proton and neutron, that is true, it does have. But where are the electrons actually? They cannot be in orbits because that will contradict the uncertainty principle. So they cannot be in orbits. So what actually, where the electrons are? The electrons are inside a region called orbital. Okay, orbital. Now this stated that orbital is actually a 3D space, a three-dimensional space where the probability of finding an electron is maximum. Okay, so this is a 3D space where probability of electron finding, this is how we denote it, is maximum. Okay, Now where is the orbital located? The orbital is located inside a subshell. And what is a subshell? Subshell is a smaller compartment of a shell or orbit. So what is the final conclusion which we can draw? That the orbital was actually located inside the orbit, inside the subshell of the orbit, which was a 3D compartment where the probability of finding an electron was maximum. Okay, and this orbital nature of an electron fulfills the two properties of the electron, which are the wave properties and of course the particle properties of the electron, and it follows the uncertainty principle as well. Okay, now one important thing, what is the difference between orbit and orbital? Orbits are shells in which we find orbitals. Orbitals are 3D spaces in which are found inside the orbit. Now orbits are of the same shape. Orbits will always be spherical or elliptical, whereas orbital can be of different shapes. It can be spherical, it can be of a dumbbell shape, okay, it can be like this as well, etc. Different shapes can be there. Fine. Electron will always be found in this orbital, but not in the orbit. Okay, so this is always a misconception that electron is found where, inside the orbit or inside the orbital. It is always found inside the orbital, not inside the orbit. Okay, now in an orbit, according to Bohr, the position and velocity, the momentum of electron could be known exactly, and that's why it contradicted the uncertainty principle and it was rejected. But inside the orbital we can never incorporate anything regarding the position or the velocity, so that's why it agrees with the uncertainty principle. Okay, one more thing, an orbit can accommodate a huge number of electrons, which is given by the formula 2n square. So for an orbit, the electron number, E number, is given by 2n square, where n is the principal quantum number. We'll come across this term later. Okay, whereas in the case of orbital, the number of electrons is only 2. Okay, an orbital can only accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, whereas orbit can accommodate 2n square electrons. N is the principal quantum number. We'll come across it right now. Okay, this is clear. So this was all about the differences between the orbit and orbital, and introduction to the quantum model. Now one point more with which we will close this first video is that information regarding electron in the orbital. अब ये तो हमको पता है कि electron is found inside the orbital, okay, the orbital of the orbit. But how do we describe that electron inside the orbital? So for that we have something known as quantum numbers. Okay, quantum numbers is a set of 4 numbers which we get, which describes the position and the information regarding an electron inside an orbital in great detail. Okay, so in the next video we will be discussing about the quantum numbers. Alright, so that was all about this video. In case if you have any doubt, please do write in the comment section, and take care. Thank you.